Good morning, everybody. It's Lindsay House. I'm back in the building with another SPS Monday Motivation. Hope you had a great weekend. We got through the weekend. We're back here another Monday. Let's be grateful for it. Moving through the month of January. The message I have today came to me not too long ago, and it's a different emotion. It's not really about textbook psychology or anything like that, but it speaks to probably two of the most amazing emotions we'll ever experience or ever have. Love and fear. And today's Monday motivation is love over fear. Love over fear. Read a cool article by Nancy Collier. She's a licensed clinical social worker and also a reverend. Thought that was interesting. She wrote in Psychology Today, and she talked about love over fear and that experience and how we look at it. Got Brother Kevin Marshall in here this morning. Good morning, brother. How you doing? Hope you're doing well, man. I'm talking about the power of emotions and love over fear. This great article I read, and she talked about rejecting fear and to choose love. Easier said than done. She talks about this being a popular refrain, and it's wonderful advice. Many believe that there are only two primal emotions in the human being, love and fear, and we cannot feel both at once. That's powerful. We cannot feel both at once. And what's that's like? I got Michelle, me Watkins here. Good morning. Good to see you this morning, Michelle. Aaron Mays, look at the crew rolling in this morning. It's good to see you guys. Aaron, Michelle, Kevin. I'm talking about love over fear. And with this message, to add a little bit more to it as well, Nancy talked about when we feel emotionally attacked, blamed, or criticized, in some way we experience fear. Even if we're not consciously aware of our ego gets threatened. Well, speaking of ego, what's helped me with this concept of love over fear is really being able to look at what do you love more than you fear. There's something that we're fearful of, and then we're kind of caught in that paralysis of analysis because we're so scared of something happening. I think a good approach to have is what do you love more than you fear. Here's a perfect example for me. Make it fun for everybody. We talk about love over fear. Man, talking about love over fear. Man, I hate roller coasters, man. I just be honest with you. Growing up as a kid, you talk about it. You want to be the baddest one to ride all the roller coasters. You know what I'm saying? I hate this part of the roller coaster. You got to go all the way up there anticipating, and then you get to the top, and your stomach's going to drop. Who wants to do that? And as I got older, I hated it even more. I remember being on a roller coaster at Cedar Point in my adult life, man, and like the corkscrew or something, and going around, and my body's shaking, man. My body was like, this is crazy. But guess what? I had a daughter, and I don't know what it is, but my daughter is a thrill seeker. So when she said, Daddy, I want to ride the roller coaster, guess who got a ride? And here's a perfect example of how my love overcame my fear. My love of my daughter and being with her, being there for her, that overcame the fear. So I think at times, guys, when we have something that we're fearful about, and these are two emotions that, as powerful as they are, we really don't talk about. You don't walk down the street and tell a stranger what you're fearful of. You don't walk down the street and tell a stranger what you love. I think that as we deal with these emotions internally at one point in time, the shift has to be, what do you love more? Sometimes we can't do certain things on the job because of how we feel, but you have to remind yourself, well, I may be fearful of what's taking place, but I love the roof over my head, the food that I eat, and the experience I have more so I can go forward with it. Let's look at this comment right here. So Michelle, she said, you ride the roller coaster and you love it. Yeah, well, I love being able to ride it with her. And she saw no fear or no concern with Daddy because Daddy said, hey, this is what baby want to do. I got to do it. But it's amazing that when we shift the reflection off of ourselves, we talked about ego just a moment ago, when we stop making it about us, when we can make it about something else or somebody else, that can help us overcome that fear. So I don't know in your daily walk of life where this will be used most, but I just know that many times the best way to get over something is just to shift into thinking. It's how you frame something. It's how you look at it. We may have a big fear of the people that we come in contact with, some of the experiences that we have, but if we take a step back and ask ourselves, well, why are we even doing it? Why is this even important? And then we put family first. We put, your career first. We put all these things, and when we juxtapose it and put the other item in front, that should help us have the motivation to go forward. And there's another thing I want to touch on too. And we talk about this love and fear, and as we use social media right now to share a great message, to stay connected and all those things, Man, I'm just seeing so much toxicity sometimes. And maybe it's the same toxicity that's there every day in and out. But I just feel like there's a need to have a platform that's just dedicated to positivity. It doesn't mean we put our heads in the sand. It doesn't mean we look past all the real things that happen in the world. But my goodness, man, to be able to show up and be committed to having a positive outlook on whatever is presented in front of you, I think is very powerful. And I think that can be done because if we have a love of positivity more than we have a fear of being caught up in something negative, we can do something positive with that. It's just a mindset. It's just a shift of thinking. I think this is a start that we can have. Got some great people on my timeline right now who know how to embrace those things. But I just want us to keep in mind going forward. Put the love over the fear. And like I said, love is emotion that we don't talk about. Fear is one as well because it speaks to what? Vulnerability. Who wants to be vulnerable? We're vulnerable with our spouse. We're vulnerable with our family to a degree. But nobody wants to be that. But as you go through your day and as you try to figure out what your next move is going to be and how you're constantly focused on how you want to elevate, the things that we're fearful of, we need to place them in a position where we can look at what we love more than what we fear to help us get through. You know, sometimes we don't even want to get out the bed sometimes. And we fear what may be on the other side of the phone call, the letter that we open, or whatever it may be. But if we can focus on the love we have for the outcome that we want, that's going to be more important than the fear we experience going through it. That fear can be a temporary feeling, and once it's addressed, we got an opportunity to move forward and do some great, great things. What did my brother say? Aaron says we definitely need to put positive energy out there. It's a choice because it's so easy with these platforms to get caught up in the piling on culture, where it's easy to pile on to something that's negative, and then we all, whether we know it or not, share the spiral that we're going in. He's my brother Kevin say, it's a good word, I appreciate you. It's just an idea that I have and just a determination where, you know, if you don't really lock into being positive, it's so easy for all these other things to seep in. You can be the most positive person in the world. I have to catch myself at times. Oh, this is fam right here in Randall. What's up, fam? Good to see you. Say Grand Rising. Good to see you, brother. Hey, man, out here trying to share a good word, man. Love over fear. We've all been in situations where we weren't as happy with where we were going. We were a little concerned. We may have been even fearful. But if we can focus on what the positive thing. My brother says, would you say love is positivity? Absolutely. Because it's a proactive act. I think love is a little bit more proactive than fear. And we can discuss that. Fear happens, it paralyzes you, and it stops you. Love is something you have to lean into. Love is something you have to open your heart for. That fear may come when you walk into a situation and it's a dark alley or something else and it has you kind of jumpy. You know, we're actually respond to what's going on. So to your point, would you say love is positivity? I would say love is positivity, Aaron. I would go a step further and say love is a proactive act. To be open for love, to do something like that. Got my brother TB in the building. Todd Bergen says 100% and checks it off. He's getting ready to go and be with some positive young people. I know he's going to go over to River Rouge High School and spend some time with that whole community. Todd, I'm going to be over there in a couple weeks, man, show some more love to Rouge and whatnot. And we thank you for everything you do as well, walking in there with them young people. Everyone on my timeline has some dealings with young people in some way or form. But I just want to emphasize, guys, when we're going through what we're going through, I think the biggest superpower that we can have is that, you know, that love can overcome the fear. Rand says, old school, love conquers all. Yeah, you know, just like I said in the article earlier that the young lady was talking about, we hear that so much. And we're so kind of aligned to the negative things that are taking place that we look past this. But if we can say in our mind, man, I want to be loving. I'd rather have my love conquer that. I'd rather be loving, and that love is going to give me the ability to overcome these fears. I think that's a great opportunity. I don't want to keep you guys too much today, but I appreciate everybody checking in. That means we're up Monday, man. We're going to have a great, great day. We're going to have a great, great week. And whatever it is that you may be dealing with, going through, man, that's nothing. Because you're going to have a great attitude. You're going to be ready to stand and address it. And we're going to realize some of the things that we worry about so much become things that really don't really have any type of bearing. Because at the end of the day, we have our health. We have our family, we have our friends, and we have our loved ones. And if you don't have all those, even if you have one of those, you're doing well. So I want to thank you guys for continually supporting the message, continuing to support me. I want to get out here today. I want to spend some time with Ann Arbor Huron basketball, girls and boys. Going to head down there later on today and spend some time with one of these top programs, another top program, just like I was saying with Todd Bergman and the River Rouge program. And again, shout out to Kevin Marshall. I know you're making it happen in Bearcat Country, man. I appreciate all you do. Michelle, you as well, and Aaron. And with that, at 10 minutes, I'm just going to sign off, and I want to wish you guys the best for a great day, great week, great month, great year, great life. With that, Lindsay Hudson with SPS. I'll see you next time. Peace.